Cristiano, let me start just by asking you, why are you doing this interview with me?
Because I think it's the time to say something, and because I like you. As simple as that.
Well, don't say that in public. Well, I like you too, and I appreciate it, because I think that you've had to sustain a lot of criticism this year in particular, probably more than at any stage in your career. And I think it's time to set the record straight and to clear up a few things, not least, I suspect, for the fans of Manchester United. You must be wondering what the hell's been going on.
Oh, as I say many times, the fans, I'm always gonna say good about them. They are the most important things in the football. You play for them, they're always in my side. I feel that every time when I walk in the streets, the fans coming to me, and they appreciate what I do for football. And for me, it's the most important in football. The fans, for me, is everything.
I want to take you back to last summer. You're at Juventus, and there's massive speculation about where you're going to go. And the big rumour is that you're going to go to Manchester City. So first of all, how close was that to happening?
Well, honestly, it was close. It was close. It's something that they spoke a lot, and Guardiola say 2 weeks ago, I guess, that they try hard to have me. But as you know, as my history in Manchester United, your heart, your feeling, the history that you did before make the difference. And of course, as well, Sir Alex Ferguson. So I was surprised in the same way, but it was conscious decision. I don't regret at some point. And as you mentioned before, Sir Alex Ferguson was the key.
Did you speak to him before you
Yes,
came
I
back?
did. Yes, I did. I spoke with him, and
what did he say to you to try and persuade you?
he said to me that it's impossible for you to come to Manchester City. And I say, okay, boss. So I took the decisions, and I repeat I was with conscience that.
Two things happened, I think, within 24 hours of you re-signing for United. One, you broke the all-time record for shirt sales in 24 hours. You actually beat a guy called Messi at PSG. You must have been happy about that.
Of course I do. As you know, I don't follow the records. The records follow me. So it's good. Another one in my book.
After a few weeks, things weren't going well at Manchester United. The club just wasn't firing. And in the end, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, the manager, got sacked. And that's within like 2 months of you coming back. What were you feeling about what was going on at United? And what did you feel generally about the club itself and the state that the club was in compared to when you'd been there before?
Piers, to be honest, when I signed for Manchester United, I thought everything was changed, because it's 13 years that I changed. I was in Real Madrid 9 years and 3 in Juventus, and when I arrived, I thought everything will be different, you know, the technology, the infrastructures and everything. But I was surprised in a bad way, let's say in that way, because I saw everything was the same.
It hadn't moved on.
No, they stop on a clock, in my opinion, which is something that surprised me. I didn't expect. And slowly they start to change, even the windows, the new players, and was tough. Was tough for me, because I didn't expect that.
It was little things like even the swimming pool that the players use, the saunas, all these facilities. Nothing had changed since you'd left in 2009.
Nothing changed. Surprisingly, not only the pool, the jacuzzi, even the gym. Even some points, the technology, the kitchen, the chefs, which is I appreciate, lovely persons. They stop in a time which is it surprised me a lot. In United, the progress was zero, in my opinion. To compare with Real Madrid and even Juventus, that they follow the recent world. So the technology, especially the terms of training, nutrition, and conditions of eat properly and to recover better than before, surprised me. Manchester right now, to compare with that club, I think it's behind, in my opinion. Unfortunately, they are not in that level, but I hope the next years they can reach.
Did you get that same respect, do you think, from the younger players?
I don't mean that they don't respect the experienced players or the oldest players. I don't think that word is the best one, but they live in a different era. I can see my kid, they have 12 years old. The mentality, they are not the same. They are not suffer that.
What's the difference?
The anger. I think the anger. I think that they have the things more easily. Everything it's easily. They don't suffer. And I think they don't care. I don't mean only a few in Manchester United, but all the teams, all leagues in the world, the youngers, they are not the same of my generation. But we cannot blame them, because it's part of the life, the new generation and the new technologies that avoid, they distract them for another thing. So, but they are not the same. They listen, but this is why we have 2 years. You listen from one side and they go away for another side. So,
see, I just find that incredible. That if I was a young footballer and I had Cristiano Ronaldo at my club, that I wouldn't want to spend every second watching him, listening to him, observing the way you go about your business. And yet, from what you're saying, clearly, they're not interested.
They don't care. Some ones, yes, but most of them, no. But for me, it's not surprise me. Don't surprise me, because they're not gonna have longevity careers, in my opinion. It's impossible.
So Rangnick's come then, it's your second manager, it's not working, the results aren't great. You're still scoring goals regularly for Manchester United. You're about the only one who is. But then you get hit by an awful episode in your life, probably the worst time of your life, where your partner, Georgina, she's pregnant with twins and is actually giving birth to these 2 babies. And your baby son doesn't survive. And I don't think I can imagine, I have 4 kids, you have a lot of children, you can't imagine a worse thing to happen than to go a full term of a pregnancy, particularly for the poor mother in that case, but also for you. What was that like for you, that time in your life?
It's probably the worst moment that I passed through my life since my father died, when you have a kid, that you expect that everything will be normal, and you have that problem. It's hard, as human being that I am. Me and Georgina, we had quite difficult moments, because we don't understand why happened to us.
You had an extraordinary reaction from football fans, obviously from Manchester United, but I think you must have been just so surprised by the outpouring of not just support, but Liverpool fans sang on the 7th minute of their next game, "You'll never walk alone." The Kop, the great infamous enemy of Manchester United. What did you feel when you heard that?
I never ever expect that, never. I had the opportunity now to say, all English community, thank you a lot for that that they had with me, not only Liverpool, but all England.
4 days after this terrible time in your life, United get a new manager, Erik ten Hag. Did you know much about him?
A little bit, through Ajax, the job that he did for Ajax.
You end the season with 24 goals for Manchester United, including 18 in the Premier League, 6 in the Champions League. You were second in the Golden Boot for the English football. I mean, by any normal yardstick, that's an incredible performance. And yet you were still getting criticised. It was almost like, well, it's got to be your fault. even though you scored all the goals? Were you as bemused as I was that you were becoming the focal point for the criticism?
I think it's easy to point out when you want to cover other things, to point out Cristiano Ronaldo. It's easy. Everyone know that press, they wanna put me in the first page because they know they will sell more, the dressing will be different. And I'm used to live like that because, you know, I was 37, I know and I learn many things. When you are in the down of the wave, when you are in the top of the wave, you don't realize and you don't see things that you don't see before, which is I appreciate, to have bad moments, to see which people is in your side, who criticize you more, because they're looking for that. They don't like to see successful people. The people only try to bring negativism.